Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something I find really fascinating. The trust paradox.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
The idea that, well, trying too hard to build trust can actually push people away.
exactly. It feels so counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't effort be rewarded? But with trust, it's almost like trying to catch a cat.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah. Chase it, it bolts. Ignore it. Maybe it wanders over when it's ready.
That really captures it. And you see this play out, right? When someone's just insisting, maybe a bit too loudly, you can trust me, I'm totally honest.
The internal alarm bells start ringing. You get that Shakespearean vibe. The lady doth protest too much, methinks. Why the big sell?
Precisely. It makes you question the motive. So yeah, in this deep dive, we want to explore why that happens.
And how it shows up, particularly in, our professional lives.
Right. And maybe talk about a better way, a more effective approach to building real connections, genuine trust.
Moving beyond just contacts.
Yeah, thinking more about like professional friendships, maybe even building healthier ecosystems around us.
Okay, let's start with the pitfalls then. What you called networking theater. I know exactly what you mean.
You've seen it too.
Oh, absolutely. Those events. Everyone's got their game face on.
Yeah.
Big smiles, exchanging cards, the whole performance.
It's a performance of trustworthiness, often,
Yeah.
but it can feel really hollow, superficial.
Definitely hollow, like everyone's reading from a script.
Mhm.
And sometimes it feels very transactional.
That's a key problem. It can easily slip into that. Like, okay, step 1, send a LinkedIn request. Step 2, expect immediate trust and maybe favors.
Yeah, if only it worked like that. Insert connection, get trust.
But real trust just isn't built that way, is it?
Right.
It needs something more. It needs time, consistency, a human element that's often missing there.
It really does. You can't just flip a switch. Or like make a declaration, poof, now you trust me.
It reminds me of job interviews sometimes.
How so?
Well, if a candidate just keeps repeating, I'm super reliable, really trustworthy, very honest.
You start to get a bit skeptical.
Exactly. You're thinking, okay, great, but show me. What have you actually done? Where's the proof?
Right. The references, the track record, that's what actually speaks, not just the word.
Precisely. Trust is the outcome. It's the result of consistent actions, of integrity shown over time. It's not the starting block.
So the big shift then is stop trying so hard to get people to trust you.
Sort of, yeah. Shift the focus from getting trust to simply being trustworthy in your actions, day in, day out.
And that ties into this idea of professional friendships you mentioned.
It does, because that's a deeper kind of connection.
Okay, so professional friendships versus just contacts or followers. What's the real difference there?
I think it comes down to the foundation. It's built on more than just potential utility.
Meaning
It's based on shared experiences, maybe shared struggles even. There's vulnerability, empathy, actual mutual support, not just what can you do for me.
okay, so less transactional, more relational.
Exactly. These connections often grow organically, maybe from working on a tough project together or having those really honest conversations. The ones that aren't just about closing a deal.
Where you actually talk about challenges. Maybe admit you don't have all the answers.
Yes. And there's a commitment to seeing each other grow, not just benefit in the short term.
That makes a lot of sense. It feels more sustainable, more human, really.
It is.
It connects back to that nature analogy you brought up earlier, the forest network.
The mycorrhizal networks, yeah. It's fascinating.
Tell us a bit more about that connection. How does fungus relate to building trust at work?
Well, think about it. Underneath the forest floor, these vast fungal networks are quietly connecting trees. They're facilitating communication, sharing nutrients.
Without any big signs saying, look how helpful I am.
Precisely. There's no overt signaling. They just are helpful. They reliably support the whole ecosystem, often completely unseen.
Okay, I see the parallel. So in our professional lives, trust should ideally be like that. This invisible, reliable, reciprocal support system.
That's the idea. Instead of being the loudest tree demanding attention and trust.
You aim to be more like that quiet underground network, weaving things together, supporting the community through quiet actions.
Exactly. Shifting the focus from look at me to how can I contribute to the health of this whole system? And that often happens through small things.
Which brings us to micro moments. What are those?
Think really small, consistent acts. Acts of kindness, support, genuine helpfulness.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Okay, maybe it's just passing along a useful article or tip to someone you know is grappling with a certain issue.
Simple enough.
Or making a quick introduction between two people you think could genuinely benefit from knowing each other. No agenda, just connecting them.
Right. Or even just remembering something small someone mentioned, like a challenge you were facing, and checking in later.
Yes, exactly that. These things seem tiny on their own, almost insignificant sometimes.
But they add up.
They compound. Over time, these consistent little gestures build a really strong foundation of trust, much stronger than any grand one-off declaration.
It's showing, not telling. Again, it's demonstrating that you're paying attention, that you actually care a little bit.
And crucially, doing it without expecting something back immediately, not keeping score.
Yeah, that keeping score thing really poisons relationships, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It brings back that transactional feel we want to move away from. Authentic helpfulness is about giving without strings attached.
So this contrasts sharply with just loud self-promotion, shouting about how great you are.
Very much so. Often it's the quiet, consistent helper who builds more influence and ultimately more trust in the long run.
And this leads to a virtuous cycle. Is that the idea?
That's it. When you contribute to the ecosystem, your network, your professional community, without that immediate expectation of return.
Good things start to happen.
Generally, yes, it strengthens the whole system. Opportunities tend to bubble up more organically, maybe an unexpected collaboration or someone refers you for something perfect. There's a sense of mutual upliftment.
It's the opposite of that zero-sum game mentality.
Right, where you feel like for you to win, someone else has to lose. Or hoarding contacts like they're scarce resources.
Building an ecosystem instead of an ecosystem.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. Fostering an ecosystem means focusing on collective well-being, believing that a rising tide lifts all boats.
And when the focus is genuinely on lifting others, individuals tend to flourish too.
Yeah,
It's not purely altruistic, it actually benefits you as well, just indirectly.
precisely. It's a more sustainable and I'd argue more fulfilling way to operate.
Okay, so for people listening wanting to put this into practice,
Yeah.
what are some concrete steps? How do we start building these more authentic connections?
Good question. I think the first step is a mindset shift. Focus less on broadcasting your credentials.
And more on caress.
Cultivating genuine curiosity about other people, ask real questions. Actually listen to the answers. Try to understand their world, their challenges.
So curiosity over credentials. I like that. What else?
Look for those small opportunities to help. Offer a resource, share a contact, lend an ear. Do it without any agenda. No quid pro quo thinking.
Just be genuinely helpful where you can.
Yeah. Remember, trust is demonstrated, not declared. Your actions are your evidence.
Makes sense.
And maybe the hardest part, be patient.
Ah,
Yeah.
not always easy in today's world.
Definitely not. But real, deep trust doesn't happen instantly. It grows organically at its own pace. Trying to rush it often backfires.
So slow trust might actually be the fastest path to strong relationships in the end.
I really believe that. It's the trust that lasts.
Okay, this has been incredibly insightful. So to kind of wrap it up, the core message is stop chasing trust.
Stop chasing the cat.
Yeah.
Focus instead on just being trustworthy consistently.
And on being genuinely helpful, contributing to the people and the systems around you.
Exactly. Let the trust be the natural outcome of who you are and how you act.
So here's a final thought for everyone listening. Maybe the next time you feel that impulse to say, trust me,
Pause. Just take a beat.
and instead ask yourself, or maybe even ask the other person,
How can I help? Or how can I support you right now?
that shift in focus from seeking assurance to offering contribution,
Yeah.
that feels powerful.
It really can be transformative. It changes the dynamic from networking to connecting, from transactions to relationships.
Building stronger connections, more resilient communities, just by focusing on being helpful and authentic.
That's the hope. That's the aim.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for this deep dive today.
My pleasure. Great conversation.